Welcome to Bits and Pieces. This video is the last 2 days of July for my pantry clean out and grocery challenge. I only spent $80 for the month of July. This little fellow right here is the reason I did not make breakfast for Saturday morning. A friend of mine was in the hospital and I went and picked her puppy up from the vet and also fed the chinchilla. Then I started to make a homemade pasta for dinner, as that was something my kids had requested, even though I did not have dinner with them. For the homemade pasta itself, I am actually trying to follow a recipe, although I did replace a quarter cup of the 2.5 cups of flour with a whole wheat. And then I took the eggs, added a little bit of salt, and beat them, and added them to the well that I had in the flour, and a little bit of olive oil. And I did start doing this a little bit at a time and mixing directly on the board. Previously, I've mixed it all in my mixer, but I really just didn't want to clean the mixing bowl. And then just kind of slowly worked through mixing the flour into this mixture. Once I get as much mixed in, I start kneading it by hand. I will say the recipe obviously called for way more flour than I really needed for 2 eggs. I did add a little bit of water to try to incorporate a little more of the flour. And once this is done, I just wrap it in some plastic wrap and put it in the fridge. I did forget to videotape me rolling out and filling the pasta because, well, it was a busy day. Lunch was, beans again and the rest of the apple coleslaw. I wanted something sweet, so I made myself a peanut butter banana sandwich with a drizzle of honey. And this is where I started to make some of the filling, cutting up onion and bell pepper and sauteing it with some of the sausage and adding some goat cheese. And that went into the ravioli, which turned out very pretty, although I didn't get a picture of it completely cooked. This is some pesto from the freezer that I set aside to thaw, and I left it to the kids to boil the pasta and toss it in the pesto as I went out to dinner with friends. Next morning, I made my sweet potato frittata. The weird-looking sweet potato is from my garden. The rest were some that I got from a neighbor. So as you can see, I used some of that clearance sausage, the bell peppers I'd gotten on clearance, and some of the onions from my garden. I only used 1/2 pound of the sausage because I really just want it to kind of flavor, not be a main part of this dish. The rest went into the fridge for me to make a something with later in the week. But I just sauteed up the onion and bell pepper, and then added the sausage and crumbled it up, and then added sweet potatoes and sauteed them a little bit before popping them in the oven for probably about a half hour at 425. And so that the sausage was all nice and crispy and the sweet potatoes were tender, and me and the kids shared an orange to go with that. Leftovers for lunch again, that was the chicken and rice. And this was my garden harvest for Sunday. The little tiny lunchbox bells, a tiny cherry tomato, and a fig and 1 okra. That quarter is there so you can see exactly how tiny all of these items are. The peppers really are supposed to be that small though. Some have requested that I continue this challenge. I would like to. I'm just not sure where I need to put the budget at. as I said, a friend just got out of the hospital. She's pretty beat up from a severe motorcycle accident, and I am hoping to help provide some food. But if you're liking the videos, please like and subscribe, and thank you for joining us at Bits and Pieces.